Hello everyone, this is Siddiqur Rahman and welcome to the first class of the second week. So let's begin. In this slide or in this lecture, you guys will be able to know the digital system as well as the digital number system. So let's move into the next slide. This slide represents the overall outline of this lecture, such as you can learn the overview of digital number system. Next, you can learn the overview of decimal number system, example of decimal system, application of decimal system, and so on. So let's move into the next slide. Now first we need to know what is digits. Well, so let's begin. A digital system can understand positional number system only where there are a few symbols called digits, and these symbols represent different values depending on the position they occupy in the number. Well, a value of each digit in a number can be determined using some following things, such as the digit, the position of the digit of the number, the base of the number system. Now a question may arise in your mind, what is base? Base is defined as the total number of digits available in the number system. Now we need to move into the next slide. In this slide we come to know, or we may learn, what is digital system, or you may know the overview of digital system. So let's begin. The decimal system is a numbering system composed of a series of symbols that, respecting different rules, are used to build the different valid numbers taking into account the 10 base. Well, it is the way to represent quantities using 10 digits from 0 to 9 including of these numbers. So let's move into the next slide. Well, this slide represents the example of decimal system. So let's begin. In here you can see there is a number represented 539. In this number the 3 occupies the place of the tens. Well, therefore its value is 30. 30 comes 3 times 10. Okay, in order to understand it better, the number can be broken down into following ways: 500 plus 30 plus 9. This is the single position. 9 is on the single position. 30 is the 10th position of the total number, and 500 is the 100th position of the number. So we need to move into the next slide. Now from this slide we came to know, or we can learn, the applications of decimal system. So let's begin. The decimal system is a necessary system in our daily lives. Most of the things we do are surrounded by numbers, and it is necessary to have a way of expressing them in order to perform different activities, such as measure an object, perform different calculations, pay the bill in a store or restaurant. The decimal system allows us to construct all the numbers that are valid in the system. It is a way of counting numbers. This system is a way that humanity has accepted to count. Another important function of this system is that it helps us to communicate, because it helps us to present or to represent things and large quantities, since numbers that are too large could not be easily represented. Now we can move into the next slide. Well, from this slide we would like to know, or we may learn, the history of invention of decimal system or numerical system. So let's begin. This numerical system was created by Hindu peoples. Some time after this system was created in India, the astronomer, mathematician and geographer, a geographer named Al-Khwarizmi, who was born in Persia in the year of 780, introduced the decimal numbering system that is currently used all over the world. Al-Khwarizmi studied for a long time this system and the correct way to use it to make calculations with it. He perfected it with his own contributions and looked for a way to be able to use 0 as a number. So let's move into the next slide. Now from this slide we may learn the characteristics of decimal system. So there are several characteristics of decimal system, such as it is a decimal system because 10 units of a given order correspond to 1 unit of the higher order. Next one, the decimal numbering system uses the number 10 as a basis. Well, next one, because it is a positional system, the value of each number or digit will depend on its position within the numeric figure. Last one, the sum of all the digits of the number multiplied by each power will give us the value of this number. Let's move into the next slide. From this slide we may learn the symbols of decimal system. So let's begin. The symbols used by decimal system are the numbers from 0 to 9, and each of these numbers is associated with a certain value that depends on its position. The further to the left the number is, its number will be 10 times more than it is worth as much in a natural number. We can find the following figures, such as units, the value it represents is worth, tens, it's worth 10 times its value, hundreds, it's worth 100 times its value, 1000 units worth 1000 times its value, and so on. So let's move into the next slide. Now we may learn from this slide decimal number system. The number system that we use in our day-to-day life is the decimal number system. Decimal number system has base 10, as it uses 10 digits from 0 to 9, including 0 and 9. In decimal number system, the successive positions to the left of the decimal point represents units, tens, hundreds and thousands, and so on. So let's move into the slide. Well, you guys will learn, or you will learn in the next lecture about binary number system. So that's all for today's lecture, or you can say this lecture, and thank you so much for your attention, and see you guys in the next lecture. Thank you.